Hi folks, and I've finally had a chance to assemble my Fusion F2 from Laguna, and I'm going to test it out with you guys, I have to say the setup went pretty smoothly. I didn't have any issues whatsoever putting it together, and adjusting it was a piece of cake. I really love the adjustments that we can actually make. To make it perfectly square and lined up perfectly to the saw blade. There's so lots of nice features in the setup. I really like the dust collection system. So just to prove it to you, we're going to do a little bit of a test. Now this saw is fantastic because it comes with wheels. And in my case, it's so essential because I do need to get to my dust collection system in the back. And as you can tell, this is a very tight workshop. So if we can just do a little roundabout just to see the actual workshop, and just to prove to you that yes, I'm working with a very, very tight workshop. I don't have a lot of space. That means I need to maximize, and I need to put everything on wheels and make it movable. So this is somewhat challenging, especially when I want a table saw that's going to give me the power that I'd love from a cabinet saw, but also be small and mobile. So this Fusion table saw is really all of that in one. Now, I was considering the Fusion 1 and did a little bit of research, and some friends also recommended to go with the Fusion 2 for the simple reason that it came with a cast iron tabletop, which is an upgrade, also the engine motor is actually not on the actual table itself. So the engine is actually separated, so which makes essentially a lot less vibration. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to just do a little bit of a test here. Show you the dust collection system, because that for me is really important. In such a small space, I got to make sure that I don't have that much dust, because it just can be a chaos here in this small space. All right, so now a couple of other things I want to mention. I love the fence, so I really enjoy this fence. It's very sturdy. I mean, it is solid, right? When you're moving this thing, it is so solid. Now the other thing I really like, and if we could do just a little bit of a close-up, is that there's adjustable components here that allows me to move the sled, which is not also available in the F1. This is only available in the F2 and up, and allows me to lock it in place. So this can be quite handy, and I'm going to show you how this can be quite handy when you have to do multiple cuts. So I'm going to do that, multiple cuts on this table saw, which was a lot harder to do if we didn't have this feature, especially because it adds a little bit more of a layer of safety that I really like. And we're going to test the actual dust collection system as well. So we're going to turn on the dust collection system right now. So we're going to turn the dust collection system on. And it's going to get a little noisy, so please bear with me. It will only take a couple of seconds, and we're going to cut some pieces, and then we'll shut the dust collection system and the actual machine. Obviously, please wear safety protection. I'm just doing a small little test, and please keep safety in mind when you're ever using some type of power equipment like this. Now, this test for me, there's barely any sawdust whatsoever. The dust collection system is working, I think, fairly well. I'm going to test it out probably a little bit more, but I'm really enjoying so far that there's almost no dust. And if you can just do a little bit of a close-up here, we're going to see that there's almost no sawdust at all. All right, now that I really, for me, is extremely important. And then of course the fact that it's on wheels, another important factor. And then also the fact that I wanted a saw that's going to give me some precision, where my last table saw was a contractor saw. And like a lot of you folks out there, just like me, that are do-it-yourself individuals at home, this saw is a fantastic buy. I would highly recommend this saw to anyone that's trying to get a bit more precision in their cuts and just the quality of the actual saw itself. Now this saw itself is going to last me for the rest of my life. It's a hybrid, so it means that I don't need to upgrade to 220, but if I wanted to, there is an actual option to do that. Now I have called Laguna, and they have to get back to me on a recommendation if we actually need to, if I need to use 20 amp circuit versus a 15 amp circuit breaker, and I still haven't gotten a response from them, but I will update this information on the actual YouTube link. All right, so folks, it was a pleasure doing this first video I've ever done on anything, and hopefully you guys like it, and hopefully it actually is useful for some of you trying to decide which type of table saw that you want to actually purchase.